Hello Cure Controllers. Welcome to the first remote training video provided for the controllers at the Cure network of hospitals. This training will cover some of the primary changes that will be taking place beginning on July 1st, 2014. Thank you for your participation. Please email or call me with any questions that you have. Also, don't forget that you can post questions or tips on the controller forum so that other controllers can offer help and see your suggestions. In this training, we'll discuss the main changes that are going to be effective beginning for the 2014 to 2015 fiscal year. The primary changes are listed here, and we will be reviewing them in more detail as we go through this training, beginning with the use of the new Contribution In-Country Revenue account. We will also review the use of customers to track the amount of funds received from the different funders. The Contribution In-Country account will replace many of the old contribution accounts. We have decided to make this change in order for us to more easily evaluate the amount of funds being raised by the hospital and how much Cure is sending to support hospital operations. All contributions other than Cure funds and government grants will be recorded in this account. Some examples of contributions that should be included here are CBM, Lillian Foundation, as well as other donors that contribute to the hospital. Due to this change, CBM and other donors will no longer have their own revenue account. In order to continue having a clear understanding of how much each donor has given the hospitals, we will begin utilizing customers to track the donations from each donor. In the next few slides, I'll show you how we'll be using customers to track donors. Some of you will already know how to do some of these things, but we'll go over everything so that we're all on the same page. To begin setting up the customer account for each donor, go to the Customers and Sales screen. Click Customers and select View and Edit Customers. This will open the Customer List screen. Here you can review all of the customers that you have entered into Peachtree. The first thing I'd like us to do is to clean out old, unused customers so that we can more easily manage the list. If you have old, unused customers, click on the customer and it will open the Maintain Customers/Prospects window. Here you can click the Inactive box to make the customer inactive. Then click Save to save your changes and click Close to close the customer. Repeat these steps for all of the customers in the customer list that are no longer being used. The next thing we need to do is to ensure that you have selected to hide inactive records. In the bottom left corner of the customer list window, there will be blue letters that read Hide Inactive Records or Show Inactive Records. If it reads Hide Inactive Records, click the blue letters and you will receive the prompt above. Click Yes to hide inactive accounts. Now all of the customers you've made inactive will no longer appear in your customer list. The blue letters will now read Show Inactive Records. If you ever want to see the inactive customers you have hidden, you can click on this to show them. Now, to create a new customer for the donors, we will start by clicking the New button in the New Customer List window. This will open the Maintain Customers/Prospects window. Here you will choose a customer ID for the donor. I used a number system, but you can use whatever will make sense for you and your finance team. You will also enter the donor name. Please note, if you have a hospital that has a Clubfoot program, if a donor gives to both the hospital and Clubfoot, you will want to have a separate customer for each to distinguish whether the donor is giving to the hospital or to the Clubfoot program. The rest of the information in the General tab is optional but may be useful to you. Feel free to enter all the information that you may use. Next, we will go to the Sales Info tab. Here we will select the General Ledger account that this customer's revenue will be entered into. For all hospital donors other than Cure, the account that should be used is account 4035-905. For all Clubfoot donors other than Cure, the account that should be used is 4050-905. This account number should now be automatically used when recording donations from the donor. Now we'll go over how to enter donations and assign a customer to each donation received. When a donation is received, go to the Customers and Sales page and click Receive Money. Then click Receive Money from Customer. You can also click Tasks from the menu bar and select Receipts. Either option will open the Receipts window. In the Receipts window, you will enter the customer ID, which will assign the donation to a customer. You can then assign a reference number, select the cash account that the funds will be deposited in, write a brief description of the transaction, and enter the amount of the donation. You can click the Journal button to review the entry that will be recorded, and then click Save to save the transaction, and click Close to close the Receipts window. The account that will be used is what we chose when setting up the customer. Periodically, you will want to run a report for your customers to see the amount of funds that have been received from each donor. To do this, click Reports and Forms in the menu bar and then select Accounts Receivable. Then select Customer Ledgers and click Options. This opens the report options for a Customer Ledgers report. In the Customer Ledger options, you can select the date range that you would like to run a report for, as well as identify which customers you'd like to include in the report. Here is an example of a Customer Ledgers report. I would recommend running this report each month and comparing the report total to the balance in the Contribution in-Country account. If all donations were given a proper customer ID, the total of those customer IDs should agree to the 4035-905 Contribution in-Country account balance. So that's all there is to begin tracking donors using customers. I hope that was helpful for you. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I'd be glad to help you. I think that will work out well for our hospitals. Next, we will talk about recording CURE contributions. The monthly CURE contribution sent to the hospital will continue to be recorded as it has been in the past in account 4005-905, the Contribution-CURE monthly account. However, beginning July 1st, the Contribution-CURE other account will no longer be used. This was a request directly from Andy and Aaron. They would like to see more clearly how much CURE money was sent to the hospital and for what purpose it was sent. Going forward, all CURE funds sent to the hospital should be recorded in the accounts listed. If there are funds that CURE sends that do not fit in these categories, please contact me and we will work through those on a case-by-case basis. Please create these accounts in Peachtree as soon as possible so that they are ready for use on July 1st. Next, we will talk about recording GIC revenue. First, let's talk about what GIC is. GIC means gifts in kind. In our hospitals, it usually is in reference to inventory or equipment that is donated to the hospital at no cost to the hospital. When this occurs, it is considered revenue to the hospital. One of the challenges for us here in CURE headquarters is that we need to reconcile the GIC inventory and equipment that we send to the hospital to what is recorded on the hospital books. In order to simplify this process, beginning July 1st, when a shipment is sent to the hospital from CURE, we will be providing a detailed listing of what is included in the shipment and will be sending an entry to record the shipment. This entry should have a reference that begins with GIC-US. This will help us clearly see that this was GIC sent from CURE. For all GIC received from sources other than CURE, when the GIC is recorded, please begin the reference with GIC-INTL. This will help us know that the GIC did not come from CURE and was from a different international source. The final thing we will be talking about is clubfoot revenue. In order to very clearly see and separate clubfoot revenue from the hospital revenue, we are going to only use two revenue accounts for clubfoot going forward. All funds sent from CURE will be recorded in account 4045-905, Contribution-Clubfoot CURE. and all non-cure funds will be recorded in account 4050-905 contribution-other international-clubfoot. Similar to what we discussed earlier in this training, please use customers to distinguish between the different clubfoot funders that are recorded in contribution-other international-clubfoot. This will help you distinguish where the revenue came from to report to the different donors. I hope these changes will be easy to make and will be helpful to you as you manage the finances of your hospital. Thanks for viewing this training, and as always, please let me know if you have any questions or concerns. God bless each of you, and thank you for your service to Cure.